Okay, everyone, we're going to get started. Thank you for gathering here tonight to celebrate and honor our winter athletic teams. Since the season ended less than a week ago, my days have included several reminders that sports, whether playing, coaching, or just watching, can consist of both rewarding and heartbreaking moments, most likely at the same time. However, the most consistent message within those reminders has been that sports play such a pivotal role in our lives, and the impact that they will have on you will last a lifetime. Some of you may play professionally, some of you may commentate sports on ESPN, some of you may coach. However you choose to have sports remain a part of your life, I want you to embrace it. For the lessons it has taught each of you, and the bonds with teammates and coaches you have formed, I assure you, far outweigh any trophy you can win. Tonight we will celebrate everyone's successes this winter season, small or large. We will celebrate team goals, individual goals, the improvements made, and memories formed. Tonight we will celebrate the spirit and passion we have for winter sports and our love for Tilton School. Tonight we will celebrate the amazing fact that we are all Rams, and the community at Tilton School is the very best community to be a part of. A collective thank you to everyone that has helped in some way, shape, or form this winter season. Special shout outs to Marvin and Lorenzo in the equipment room, our athletic training staff, Chuck and Heather. Thank you for being the literal glue, sorry, that was tough, that holds our athletes together. Building services, maintenance, our communications office, Sage Dining, our professionals on the clock, Mr. Ruggles, Ms. Gadd, Mrs. McCandless, Mr. Waring and Mr. Hardaway for being the best officials this winter season saw all season. That is absolutely accurate if you guys watch some other games. Thank you to each of you that remains and many others not who have had a hand in making this winter season a success. Let's give them a round of applause. A sincere thank you to Ms. Johnson. The winter is hard to balance coaching and administrative responsibilities, but without hesitation, EJ, even now that you're coaching this season too, you step up. Thank you for always going above and beyond. I know our school, and especially our athletic department, is lucky to have you, so thank you. During tonight's ceremony, we will hear from 7 different programs. Each program will briefly describe their team's journey of moments and accomplishments this winter. The order for tonight's ceremony will be boys varsity A ice hockey, girls varsity basketball, girls varsity ice hockey, boys varsity basketball, boys JV basketball, girls JV basketball, and we will conclude with boys varsity B ice hockey. As a reminder, if you receive an award, please stay after to have your picture taken with coaches. Coach McQuaid, Coach Cass, you're up.
Before I do anything, I just want to acknowledge our captains. We have 3 this year: Nick Fontaine, Peyton Rufa, Dean Dreiswitz. 3 amazing kids. Very difficult task at hand with 19 kids leaving our locker room. They had to check their egos. They had to put the team first. Guys worried about what am I going to do next year, and that's okay. We want our guys to be prepared, but these 3 put the team first. Nick is an unbelievable kid. He's the definition of a captain. He cares about the community. Aiden Rupa is the definition of tough. We go to the Christmas tournament, he breaks his jaw, he doesn't complain, he sits in the emergency room for 3 days, gets the thing wire shut, comes back, doesn't say boo, rides the bus all January, gets cleared, comes back and plays, puts the team first. And we're lucky to have Dean Dreiswitz coming back as a junior next year, so I want those 3 to get a round of applause, please. So we meet here on a Monday, and every Monday, my son comes to practice at the end. These guys mean the world to my kid. He's at every game that he can be, every practice. You guys grateful? I just wanted to acknowledge him. Coach Brisson said a lot of thank yous, and it is a sports award, and we will get to some awards at the end, but I think it's very important tonight that people know the people behind the scenes that make our team operate the way it does. So our athletic department, the work that they do is tireless. Mr. Carter, Ms. Corbo, the training room, Marvin and Lorenzo, Ms. McCandless and Ms. Gadd, the clock, Ms. Saunders for your support of our program and letting us use your house for the family dinners. Coach Waring, in his first year, has done such an amazing job with our strength and conditioning program. Our maintenance staff and my 2 managers, Dan and Gary, as I just said in the locker room, it's very difficult to find good managers. There's just so much that goes into hockey with the equipment and being on the road and all that stuff. So we're grateful to have had those two guys. Our coaching staff, Coach Harding, Coach Compton, your work with the varsity D team was amazing. Proud to have you guys on staff. You did an amazing job in your first year. And the guy behind me, great friend, just a loyal coach, great teacher, great advisor. This community is so blessed to have Coach Cass. In terms of our team, we finished 17-11 and 0. My son reminds me we didn't win on Wednesday. That's okay. But at the end of the day, our team made the New England tournament for the 4th time in the past 8 years, and we made the Lakes Region tournament for the 5th time in the past 8 years. We had a plus 15 goal differential, plus 21, which was top 15 best in New England. So we had some guys that could score. We averaged about 4 goals per game, which is really good. And our special teams floundered a little, but we had a power play that was over 24%, which with the guys in the game, that's really good. And our PK was over 85%. And I just told the guys in the locker room, we have 3 players that were named to the New Hampshire All-State Prep Team, Keegan Knight, Quinn Booth, and Brendan Pecoraro. And we also had 2 guys into the Lakes Region All-Star Team, Aiden Trez and Joe Grimes. Those guys deserve it. Last note, which is pretty cool, before I give it over to Coach Cass. We moved over from the Christmas tournament at Governors to the Brooks Pingree tournament in 2012. 2012 on, we had not won it. The tournament that we should have, but we never did. So it's the first time since we moved over, this group won the Brooks Pingree Christmas tournament, which was a huge accomplishment for our program. So very pleased and proud of the guys for that. Coach is going to give out 2 awards. I'll come back with the coaches and then keep it moving.
All right, good evening. Thank you all very much for being here. A few thank yous before we move along. First to the staff over at the arena. They do a great job for us and put in a lot of long hours. Thank you. Second of all, to Coach McQuaid. So him and I obviously spent quite a bit of time together through the winter, and in my 4 years, just the amount that I've learned from him when it comes to hockey and just resiliency in life. And as he said, he really is truly a friend of mine. And Coach, thank you so much for another great year. Final thank you just to all of you. It's not too often that I get in front of a microphone around here, so I'll take this moment just to thank you all for the last 4 years. What a great time to spend welcoming me and my family to the Hill. This community means everything to me, so thank you to all of you. All right, now to the awards. So our most improved player goes to a 2-year player, someone whose role increased quite a bit on the team this year, played power play for us, penalty kill, high motor guy, always a high energy guy. Goals increased from last season with 2 to 8 this year. Points increased from 11 to 25. This year's most improved player is Quinn Booth. All right, the next award I have the pleasure of giving out is our most valuable player. Now, this team was as deep as I've had the opportunity to coach. We had 6 different players finish between 25 and 31 points. So it was really a group effort, the success that we found this year. This is an award that's voted on by the players. And I think some good evidence of what I just said was that 8 different players received an MVP vote when we did our voting. The person who ended up just barely squeezing it out with the most was our leading goal scorer with 15, our leading points guy with 31, Keegan Knight. Thank you.
So our last award is the Coaches Award. It was really nice to have a player perform the way he did. I think that the fun part in coaching him, and any coach I think would agree, is having someone who consistently gives you the same effort and you know what you're going to get from that player every single night. He was the same guy, and it wasn't boring, it was helpful. He was just relied upon, his steadiness, the whole team could see. And to have someone like that, it just made our team better, and you guys are always pulling for him. Coaches, we're really happy for you. Thank you to everybody here, and thank you to seniors and PGs with such a large group. Just grateful to coach these guys. Kai at 4 years, Ben Ashton at 3, ton of 2-year guys and 6 PGs. They did a great job keeping our program going in the right direction. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Coach McQuaid and Coach Cass. Amor fate. You're probably wondering, with an eye roll, of course, what is Brisson trying to teach us now? At least I know my team is wondering that, as I managed to disguise a life lesson into every practice and every game this season. Amor fate is the practice of loving everything that happens to you. Not just accepting it, not just tolerating it, but really embracing it and saying to yourself, I will be better because this happened to me. You throw away a winning lottery ticket, more fate. You sleep through your first 3 classes, more fate. You lose your set of AirPods, more fate. No amount of anger or blame or sadness will change anything. So that's what a more fate is. You take what you can from it, you use it as fuel, you become improved by it, and better from it. The team doesn't know this, but that was our mantra. We began the season below 500. We had a teammate leave. We struggled to build chemistry, but alas, amor fate. We didn't quit. We didn't make excuses. We just worked. We collectively said, we are going to make the most of this. We are not going to let this stop us, and we are going to be better for having this happen. And we did just that. We finished the season winning 17 out of our final 19 games, earned our 13th Lakes Region Championship in the last 14 years, and a trip to the NETSAC tournament, also our 13th trip in the last 14 years. Although the ending was never what we wanted, this was one of the most successful seasons for the program, because we just kept moving forward through every challenge, big or small, fair or unfair, chosen or tragic. We said, amor fate. Love it all. Use it as fuel. Become better from it, having happened. I'm really proud of this entire team. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you to our amazing manager, Sage. She was on top of it. I know this isn't hard to believe, but she always brought humor to our squad. It was obvious that she cared about the team, but when I saw her just as upset after our quarterfinal loss to New Hampton, I was reminded of how much it mattered to her too. Hopefully we can convince her to come back next season. Thank you to the scrimmage squad, Mr. Edwards, Mr. Goodwin, Mr. McKenzie, Mr. Compton, Mr. Waring, Coach Lorenzo, David, Atta, Jack, Keegan, Yere, Tanner, Jake, and anyone else that helped us on occasion that I missed. We would not have grown into the team we were without each of you day in and day out. You guys are awesome, so thank you. Special shout out to my guy, Eddie. We are a better team with Coach Edwards. His dedication to these girls had them either constantly laughing or ready to compete. Either way, it takes a village, and Eddie, I'm glad you're part of ours. So now we'll hand out some awards. As a coaching staff, we're not the biggest fans of individual accolades, because pretty much, and everyone can attest to this, your entire team deserves something at the end of this. They work really, really hard, and that's why we're up here celebrating them today. However, we'll begin with our most valuable players. Again, every single member of our team brought value. However, when being discussed, these two rose to the top. For the girls' basketball program, this award is given to those on our team that you'd struggle to achieve your goals without, not just on the court, but in the locker room, on bus rides, and in practice. The most valuable player must be reliable, and when challenged, can rise to meet that challenge. Our first MVP goes to a player who quietly had multiple double-doubles this season, as well as 10 games where she scored more than 20 points. However, this player's improvement as a defender, as a vocal leader, in her own self-confidence propelled her to be one of the best post players in the NEPSAC. Don't be fooled by Colleen's big smile. She is physical and strong, and her presence in the paint will only continue to get better in the next 2 years. Our first most valuable player goes to sophomore Colleen Field. Our second MVP goes to a junior who this season had to do more than just score points and hand out assists. With a graduation of 6 seniors, Nene had to take on a different role this year. And similar to her approach to all other parts of her game, she embraced the challenge and worked every day to be the best she could for this team on and off the court. Anaya not only excelled between the lines this season as a player, but in the locker room as a leader. For that, I am most proud. Our second most valuable player award goes to junior point guard, Anaya Adams. Also, I asked Eddie if he wanted to speak, but you guys are gonna have to hear my voice. He said no. Finally, we will give out 2 coaches awards. Our coaches award is given to a player who is devoted to the team above themselves, who without hesitation would do whatever needed for the team to be successful. If you have watched our team compete over the last couple of years, I hope both of these 2 names come to your minds. Maisie Bird has played for us for 3 years, and although her role changed quite often over those 3 years, who she is as a person, a player, and a teammate never did. Maisie worked every day to help the team improve. She never complained, she never pointed fingers, and always listened, willing to be coached. She has been a key part of our success over these last 3 years, and I'm so proud of her growth on and off the court. We're going to miss her more than she realizes, but we'll support her on the lacrosse field this spring. Our first coaches award goes to senior Maisie Bird. I often use our second award winner's name to talk about how work ethic, never quitting, and doing the dirty work will open up so many doors to achieve your dreams. Ashley Gibson, over her career, averaged less than 10 points per game, but played almost every minute. She won 3 Lakes Region championships, a Nickerson championship, a Blackburn championship, a NEPSAC championship, but was never once named the MVP. However, over her 4 years as a Ram, her role was the most valuable. She had to defend, rebound, set screens, distribute the ball, do the dirty work that doesn't fill a stat sheet or a newspaper clipping. And because she was always team first and valued her role, she had multiple Division I scholarship offers. Ashlyn, in your 4 years, you have grown up so much. You fought for what you wanted, and you got it. UMaine is super lucky to have you. Thank you for giving your time, energy, and love to this program for the last 4 years. Our second coaches award goes to 4-year senior, Ashlyn Gibson.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the girls hockey team, I'd like to thank a few people. It's probably duplicative of Coach Grissom, but these people made it, their efforts made us feel very special and supported throughout the winter season. Ms. Saunders, Coach Grissom, Coach McQuaid, Coach Lacasse, Ms. Candace, Ms. Gabb, Mr. Preston, Coach Waring, and Mr. Walter and his great staff, including the Zamboni drivers. Thank you guys for all of your efforts and making a special season for the girls' hockey team. Additionally, I definitely want to give a special thanks to our trainers, Mr. Carter and Ms. Gorbo. We had a ton of injuries this year. We had a broken collarbone, a broken hand, a broken finger, concussions, muscle pulls, you name it, and you guys did an unbelievable job. And I know you don't always hear it because most of the time players just want to get back on the ice, but I know firsthand how much our parents really appreciated the support you gave to those who were injured this year, and you guys did an unbelievable job, so thank you very much. My last thank you goes to Coach Johnson from the team and me personally. I just really want to thank you for everything you did this year. The impact you had on our team cannot be understated, and I'm probably not going to do it justice here with my words alone. But the bond you developed with all the girls on the team, the new players, incoming players, and returning players was amazing. And the trust you won equivocally because they know how deeply passionate you are and how much you care about them. And personally, you just made it a super fun year for me. And well, I'm not the easiest person to coach with. I'll admit that right off. The girls all know that when I get upset, the hat comes off. And if I get really upset, I slam it down. And it's nice to coach with someone who's always so even-keeled, who takes a reasonable, prudent approach at all times. And especially when I start to lose it, I can feel that devil in my head just making me lose it a little bit, and you're like an angel over here. Brings me back to the center. And I hope you come back next year. I'm extremely proud of our team and how they represented the Hilton this year. As a group, we talked a lot about, at the beginning of the season, what our goals and expectations were going to be. And we set some lofty goals, some of which we achieved, some of which we fell short of. I'm going to highlight some of the goals that we did achieve, but we also talked about, sometimes it's okay not to achieve all of your goals. If you achieve all your goals, you're probably not setting high enough. And I'm super proud of how the girls competed and stayed focused throughout the year to try to achieve all the goals that we highlighted as a group. I am a lawyer, so I know I'm not a lawyer, and you also know as well, but I'm going to try to stay on script and keep it brief. But a couple of points that I want to highlight was one of our goals was to go down to Portsmouth Abbey Christmas tournament and show well in that tournament. It was right before break, and I'm happy to say that we went undefeated that weekend, and we were awarded co-champions of that tournament. And it was really special for me because we got contributions from a lot of different players on the team due to injuries and sickness. All three goalies played. There were a lot of firsts at that tournament, including first goals, and everyone really contributed to that. So that was a special moment for this group. Another big goal that we had was getting into the Lakes Region playoffs. And it's hard following those two teams who were right before us and hearing all the success they've had the last few years. The girls hockey team hadn't been in the Lakes Region tournament ever. And it was a big goal of ours. We stressed it a lot. We weren't afraid to talk about it. And we put a real emphasis on our Lakes Region games. And I know it's a source of pride for this group and me in particular that we made the tournament this year. And I don't think a lot of schools in our league gave us a chance to get in that top four. We finished 8th last year, and it was a big jump, a big achievement for our program, and something that we're very proud of. In order to do that, we had to win a lot of hockey games. And another thing that we talked about, probably more on the coach level than the player level, we wanted to win every game. But we set a new win record for the school here in girls hockey. I'm super proud of this group for doing that, and it just shows their dedication and how hard they worked to try to achieve that goal. Now, one of the goals, we were hoping when we got to Lakes Region that we would upset either St. Paul's in the 1 seed or New Hampshire in the 2 seed, and we didn't. But it was nice to be playing in games that matter at the end of the season, and it was a great way for our seniors to go out and be playing meaningful games, and it was a great opportunity for our underclassmen to really get a taste of what it's like. In those games, while we didn't come out on the right side of them, to put it in perspective, St. Paul's was the #1 seed in the Lakes Region. They just rolled through the large school tournament and won the NEPSAC large school title. The #2 team was New Hampton. They just rolled through the small school NEPSAC championship and won that. So, we gave New Hampton a little bit of a run earlier in the year. We were tied 2-2 at the end of regulation. We went to overtime. It was a big confidence boost for our group. We ended up losing in overtime. And these guys know I'm not a moral victory person, but the reality is it was a huge achievement for this group. And I couldn't be happier for the seniors to be going out on a high note. So thank you to this group. I really appreciated coaching you guys this year. I had an absolute blast, and I appreciate all of your efforts. I know I'm not that easy to play for and demanding and hold you guys to a high standard. Sometimes you might think it's too high, but I believe in you guys, and you really made me proud. So thank you all. We have a couple of awards. Like Coach Brisson said, hockey's the ultimate team sport. Every single person on the stage contributed to our success this year, and we talked a lot about embracing your role, whatever it is, and being a good teammate. And we have an unbelievable group. That being said, we do have some individual awards. The first award I'd like to give out is the Coaches Award, and it's going to a senior who came in under a different coach than before I got here, and she was a defenseman. And I told her pretty early on that, no, you're not going to play defense, you're going to play forward. We need someone up front scoring goals. You have the size and strength to be a good forward. And she said, okay, coach, whatever will help the team. Kid always puts the team first. She's super unselfish. Another story, I might embarrass her by saying it, but it just goes to show what an unbelievable kid she is. She's a senior. So, she's a senior. She had a jersey number from her junior year. Someone came into the school, an underclassman, who wanted that jersey number. Not many kids would give it up. And she immediately said, yeah, no problem, I'll pick another number if it means something to them. So, I'll miss her next year. She's the ultimate team player. She did everything I asked. This year's Coach's Award goes to Chevy Arizona. So we also have a lot of players who could have gotten the most improvement award. And I think that goes to the fact that we were the youngest prep school team by far. There was no close second. We had 6 14-year-olds in our lineup playing regularly. To put it in perspective, St. Paul's is 0. New Hampton is 0. So it's a big jump for a 14-year-old to come in and play prep hockey. It's not easy. You have to adjust to the size, the strength, the speed, the pace of the game. And this year, it's going to go to one of our newcomers who made huge improvements. And she defended so well in our zone, played really tough, killed penalties. We saw some high-end forwards going to really good Division I schools last weekend, last 2 weekends of our season. And this defender kept them to the outside, blocked so many shots, played so tough. In fact, in the St. Paul's game, I think she blocked so many shots, she took part of her shoulder pad and put it on her knee. I'm super proud of her and how she played. She transformed her game from the first game to the last game. I expect great things from her in the future. This year's most improved player is Lindsay Fox. Finally, we have most valuable player award. It's going to come to no surprise to everyone on this stage and anyone who watched our games. It's going to go to a senior who's an extremely talented goal scorer. The last 2 years since I've been here, and I'm sure before that, she had highlight reel goal after highlight reel goal. She has an uncanny knack to dip her shoulder and use her edges to get goalies moving one way and come back the other. Same thing with defenders. I'll miss her confidence and poise and goal scoring on the ice, but as a team, we're really going to miss her poise, confidence, and leadership off the ice even more. She also embraced our motto this year for our team, which was work hard, be kind, and just a tremendous leader. This year's most valuable player, Sophia Bray. Finally, before we get off the stage, I just want to recognize our 3 captains who did an unbelievable job. Their leadership was second to none, and they all hold a special place in my heart, and I can't thank them enough for their passion and their hard work. So, Sophia King, Sophia Brea, and Conley Leatherbush.
Well, y'all, go. Let's see what we do, team. Tough act to follow. Really tough act to follow. Some people write stuff down and have a reflux. Dyslexic, I feel backwards. That's why I work on the CIA. I do a much better job just coming out here and peeling my heart out to you. And that's all I'm trying to do. Brooke, she killed me. My daughter's here. Thank you, please. I write something that my dog puts up, and I have no clue. She writes songs for me. I read something about being a basketball coach on the hill and how difficult it is. And she keeps me out of the sane asylum, but they have found me in New Hampshire. So if we're really not doing well, it's my phone. Just call it sane asylum. You can check me in. I want to first start off by thanking the administration for all the tremendous amount of support, Case Honor, especially Coach Bridges and Coach Johnson. Admissions, I don't know how you do it out with me. I don't know Robert will settle me. I can be a pain in the derriere from time to time, and I can be a little pushy from time to time, but I do appreciate all your support. All the other team sports coming to our games means a lot. The support. Going to your games means a lot. When we first had our first gathering out on the turf field, they asked if I wanted to say something to the group. One of the biggest things that I said to the group was, when I went to Fort Meade Military Academy, I was so impressed how all the cadets there, where they saw a piece of trash or saw anything on the campus, they would always go on their way to pick it up. And when I walk around this campus, if I see something on this campus, I try to pick it up and throw it away. Make this place a better place when you leave it. Every time you step on the floor, you're representing every single person that ever went to school here. I was fortunate enough to go to the Celtics 76ers game and meet George Niang, who obviously played here, was an All-American who played at Iowa State. When I gave him the Tilton hat after the Celtics game, the smile that was on his face just made all the difficultness of our life so much easier. Terrence Mann, when he came last year, I'm up on the treadmill. I know it doesn't look like it, but I wasn't. I was in the treadmill in the cafeteria before. It's a different story. I'm on the treadmill and I look out at Terrence Mann, graduated here, played at Florida State, faced Los Angeles Clippers. He's standing at half court, one of his teammates. He had just lost to the Pelicans 2 nights before in the first round of the NBA championship. I walked down, said hello, introduced myself. I coached against him when I was at one of my past schools, and asked him, like, what are you doing here? He goes, I wanted to see that. I said, what's that? He was a championship banner. That's why you came here? He goes, yeah, I want to say thank you. He went around to his teachers, Mr. Lanraj, Mr. August. He wanted to say thank you. These guys that live in the NBA, they don't need to do that. But they don't know. They weren't invited back. I mean, what we would want to have them back. They came back on their own just to say thank you. The barber in town, because I go to the bar. The barber in town, Andy, when he first got here, had a full head of hair. He did. I walked into the barber shop and told me to take Terrence Mann stuff to the barber shop 25 minutes. He was not getting a haircut from the barber. But this place just meant so much to him, and that gentleman comes to so many of our games and supports so many of our athletic teams. Terrence wanted to now say thank you. That's what you're a part of. When you leave this campus and wear tilted across your chest, or tell people you went here, that means a lot. It's a small place, but it means a lot. Don't forget it and honor it. And honor it, please. I'm so difficult to work for. My assistant coach is not even here. Believe it or not, it happened. Last year I did not have them, but this year they found somebody from the South, from Mississippi, so we knew nothing about Coach Burns, how difficult it would be to work for Coach Burns. They didn't tell what he was doing. We thought he was coming up here, teaching history, but we know he had to be my assistant coach, and I worked with Marvin, bless his soul. Lorenzo is not here right now. He went to a wedding this weekend. Probably get married. He should be here at any time, but he's not here. But I want to thank Lorenzo. Do me a favor, stand up. I know you're gonna love this. So I just saw that's paid. Believe it or not, last year I didn't have a manager. Last year, Jamal Davis, who was one of our football players, Jamal's on the basketball team, blew out his piece to play basketball. So I asked Jamal if he could stay and be my manager. He did the book. So I would have had someone to do the book. This year, I don't know, so what up to it was a joke, maybe I told her to do it. I'm not sure. He walked into my office court today and said, Coach Burns, would you mind me being your basketball manager? I was, what? Yes, I need to do something in the winter, and I could be your basketball manager. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. Thank you very much. Okay. When you look at this group, they're from everywhere. It's one of the strangest gatherings of human beings in the world. You have the Three Croatians, right here. You have a gentleman from Switzerland. You have a gentleman from China. I'm not sure every day. I'm not sure. China, New Hampshire, Connecticut, from all over. And it's amazing how this team has come together. We're going to have to get more chairs at our dining room because when these guys go and sit down, like I have to get there myself, but I have to get there at 11:25 because I want a chair. Because it's a fight to sit at the table. Everyone wants to sit at that table. And now we have a little bit of flow over to the table beside us, but these guys are so close and want to spend so much time together that they sit together every single day. That's not choreographed, that's on their own, they can sit wherever they want to do. But this team has come so far when they first came here from all over the world to where they are right now and where they're going to go in their future. These guys will be friends forever. I can't thank them enough. So as far as basketball, we obviously didn't win as many games as we would like to win. Obviously, everyone would like to win all of them. Unfortunately, in life, you're not able to win everything. In life, you have to learn from losing. And I'm not easy to play for. I challenge them every single day. I've been fortunate enough to play for college coaches, John Calipari, Kentucky. I've been able to play with NBA players. All the drills and everything that I've learned is what I teach them, and I hold them accountable the same exact way. I can't expect them to jump over backward and dump the ball to hands. I can't expect them to make some of the plays that those players that I played with in the past did. I can't expect them to do the drills as well as coaches have in the past. But every single drill, everything we do is what all my former players, all my former coaches have thrown at. And they never complain. Never put, just get on the line and just ran. Just get on the line to drill the best of their abilities. As difficult as it was. And the amazing thing these guys did is these guys held themselves accountable. I didn't have to, if they missed a layup or missed a shot, I didn't have to punish them. They would go to the side and then knock out 10 push-ups on their own. They would hold each other accountable. We were doing a drill perfection, the guys missing handful of layups. They huddled up and they were kicking guys out of the drill, saying go to the side and work on your own. Because they wanted to do everything the right way. They wanted to go as hard as they can for as long as they can. One of the biggest mottos that I learned playing Coach Cal. Go as hard as you can for as long as you can. And this is what this group did. This past weekend, I was able to go to my alma mater and watch UMass play. And I watched their practice. And the coach said they've been in a disarray right now because they weren't getting along because the season had drawn out. So, I'm not that I'm a betting man, but if I would have bet against them because they didn't look great. And one of my friends made a great comment, which I wasn't ready for. So when the game started, they played St. Bonaventure. They haven't beat St. Bonaventure in 8 years. And UMass won by 11 points. After the game, I went, man, won by the best. My wife didn't have the ball. But it's so difficult when you're not doing well to stay together and keep on fighting and keep on competing. And I didn't know the state of where St. Bonaventure was. I just knew what I saw. And at the end of the year, when they could have maybe packed it in and made an excuse, they did not. And in some way possible, they won their last 2 games, and we beat last year's overall win total. I learned working here in Tilton that New Hampton is our rival. I have to learn that, and Coach Grissom drills it into me. I know it is. It's the second game on our schedule every year. Last year, we went to New Hampton and played in their place, and then it was been in their little gym. The place was packed, the fans are out of their mind, yelling, screaming, and we were not ready for it. We lost by 35 points. One of the most embarrassing losses I've ever been through as a coach. And I did not do a good job getting my guys ready to play. This year, we played New Hampton, the second game of the year here. New Hampton, just so you know, ended up being in the top 10 of all prep schools in the United States. New Hampton ended up making the Final Four of the AAA championship. And these guys right here found a way after being down 17 in the second half to beat them by 1 point, 65-64. no one went to a free throw line, and every free throw again. They only hung up that after a game with Coach Person. So I wanted them to hug and make sure that you always up. So again, unbelievable year, great kids, great people from all over the place. We had tremendous success. We beat Exeter, we beat St. Andrews after losing them early in the year. So we had our share of wins. Obviously, we want to win more moving forward. But if you look up what a champion is, that's what a champion is right there. That's what it is. First, I'll pick up our two captains. Being captain, Coach Burns, is not easy at all. This gentleman was a returner. So when all the new guys came in here, he was the one that had to teach these guys what it's like to go to Tilton, what an average day is like at Tilton, what it's like to play for Coach Burns, what it's like to be successful on this campus. And he did a tremendous job with it. And it was so hard on him because he was an extension of me on the floor, and I asked him to do things that he's never been asked to do before. But he did try to help. Another captain enjoyed playing so much. He's not here right now. He's on his last way back. He went to Hall for the weekend. It's Jalen Kirk. Our most valuable player, ridiculous athlete, had some ridiculous dunks that could go down in the annals of any player that's ever played here at Tilton. Led us in scoring, came a long way as a leader on a team. He'd never been asked to be a captain before, and I challenged him to be a captain. It was really outside of his comfort zone. These guys know the story. We're playing St. Andrews at home, and I grabbed Jalen and I said, Jalen, can you please get the guys together and tell them, jump on my back, that we're going to find a way to win the game? He's like, man. I said, yeah, how do I do that? I said, well, I can't tell him. But I told him, so they held him accountable to be able to do that. Jalen Kirk. Most improved player, when he first got here, he could not chew gum and walk at the same time. Chew gum and walk at the same time. Tripped over shoelaces. Had no clue how he was ever going to help us win a basketball game. But whenever I challenged him, he knows it would, to be honest with you. He knows it would. Whenever I would challenge him to do something, he would just look at me and go, yes, coach. I wanted him to talk back so I could get angry at him, but I couldn't get angry at him. Didn't play much early, didn't know when or if he would ever play. Everyone knows on a basketball court, you have the lane, baskets here, all of the lane. Before he came to this country, he had never put his foot inside the lane before because he did not like contact so much and did not like physical play so much that he was afraid to put his foot inside the paint. And I challenged him every day, the team challenged him every day. For us to win, for us to be successful moving forward, we needed him to improve. We needed him to rebound. We needed him to be a leader on the floor. We needed him to be more physical. He grabbed it, held on to it, and wouldn't let go of it. Rocco Jerry Jurasik. Jurasik, I said it wrong. Okay, Coach Award. Not enough time. Not enough time to tell you stories about this individual. We'll go back to when I first saw him. We're playing at Exeter last year. It was just some creepy kid sitting straight across from me, looking right at me in the eyes in the crowd. And it was just something, there was something about him. It was like, I don't know if it was God's way of telling me, this kid's going to be one of your children one day. But it was just this one person. And it was like a beam of light was coming into the gym. And it was over his head. And I'm like, who is that person? Never met him. Never. After I get done talking to the guys and walking out of the hallway, and he's standing right there. And the light's over him. And he's standing there. He's looking at me. What is this kid doing? I'm like, who is this individual?
So he shows up on campus, okay? Does his visit. And admissions calls us and Coach Brian, we want you to come down and talk to a kid that's visiting right now. I said, oh, great. Who is he? Look, just come down. You meet him, you come on down. I said, all right, come down. The light is coming through. It's coming through admission. And he's sitting in a chair like this. He's smiling face with the same jacket on. The same exact jacket on. And I walk him, he goes, hey, Coach, he's out there. And it's hysterical because the admission staff was standing on the other side of the door because they knew that comedy was about ready to occur. And my man looks out to me and goes, yo, Coach, I'm a baller. I said, really? And he goes, Coach, I ball. I said, well, tell me what the high school team playing right now. And he goes, Coach, what I'm going to do for you next year, I'm a ball. So yeah, like he was a ball. So I knew I had a ball, and I knew he was a safe because the light just So every year when we have our first meeting, I get the whole team, we get all the guys that want to come and play basketball. We have Coach Ware's leadership class, we get all the guys together. And I say, okay, there are 25 people in this group right now. I have 15 uniforms. You're going to have to go through this whole routine, and then we're going to figure out who the 15 guys are. We're going to come to our first practice. He never missed one lift. He never missed one run. He didn't miss one drill. He missed a lot of shots. But he never missed one drill, one practice. Guess for everything, front of every line. If you call guys on the floor, he was the first guy out on the floor. And the light just kept falling around. So the first day we get for first day of practice is on Saturday, so it's Friday we're lifting weights, and he's in there maxing out. And he maxed out 195 pounds. 195 pounds. The same light was coming through the window. Now he was certainly lift 205. Some back here lied to him and told him it was 205. It was 195 because he was celebrating 205, but it wasn't. Every practice, every drill, everything we did, he worked as hard, if not harder than anybody. Thank goodness there's Patty in that gymnasium because he dove for every loose ball. We had to stop drills when we get near the metal bleachers because he would have dove through the bleachers. There are 3 basketballs that are now footballs because he dove on them and squished them and have them in the shape of footballs right now. One day he dove later on and throw them off him, and he was fielding the ball and he knocked the wind out of himself. He said, don't help us. He said, oh. Breathe in your nose, breathe in your mouth. When he gets up, brushes himself off, he's right back in front of the line again. Coach of the Lord. Hands down, he's our guy.
Good evening, everybody. Before we start, I just want to give a few thank yous. I want to thank our amazing athletic directors, Ms. Johnson and Ms. Christie. Thank you so much. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Carter and Ms. Corvo for their endless support throughout the season. Along with our trainers, I want to thank Mr. Wolf for sitting right up front and capturing what athletics means to our community. All of you guys, everyone in this room helps us out so much. And we just want to give you a huge thank you. So thank you very much. On the first day of practice, Coach Harder and I told our team that we have one of the most athletic teams that would be part of our league, and this rang true throughout the season. Among our team, there was such individual talent, and this led to Coach Harder and I harping upon 2 common themes: intentionality and teamwork. Throughout the 2 months that we were together, not only do I believe that the team worked intentionally to face adversity, but they did it together. And these guys will all tell you that I harped upon two things. Every practice, I said, what are you going to work on today? What are the two answers? Teamwork and intentionality, right? So, immediately, I think of two huge wins for our team to represent this. After losing to a strong Cardigan team in our winter jamboree, we played, in my opinion, what was our best game of the season. Everybody worked together and depended on each other. The same can be said for our last game of the season, Brewster, as the amount of teamwork and intentionality that was shown was incredible. Our seniors stepped up big for these 2 games and throughout the season, and I want to give them a big thank you. Thank you, guys. So before continuing to awards, we just want to take a second to recognize our captains. I want to speak first about David, who's one of our captains. He stepped up big with his basketball skills and experience throughout the season. He did an amazing job of supporting those who were playing for the first time and supporting those who also had a great amount of experience. So thank you, David. I also want to take a second to thank Lex, Conant, and Mizraki. We had a lot of moving pieces throughout the season, whether it be injuries or sicknesses or whatever it may be. Lex stepped up not only in the moment that we needed him, but throughout the duration of the season. So thank you, Lex.
All right, our last captain, senior Tanner Crowley. From the start of the season, Tanner was a natural leader on our team, which we really appreciated. He showed he was able to work hard throughout the season to better his game, but also to help others better their game and to do the same. We are very, very, very thankful to have Tanner on this team. It's been great to work with you over the past 3 years, and I wish you the best of luck next year. Thank you.
So to start with our awards, we want to start with our most improved player. When walking into this season, this player approached us and told us that, quote unquote, we're just here to have fun. After only 3 practices, this player was not only in the gym whenever they had free time, but was constantly asking questions. What drills can I work on? What recommendations do you have for passing? And so forth. He stepped up big for us in some of our games and improved exponentially throughout the season. We'd like to award Jack O'Hanlon with the most important.
All right, our MVP. Throughout the season, there was one player that was always willing to go the extra mile to help this team. Whether it be spending extra time to talk strategies with the coaches, traveling with the team even if he was sick. This player was constantly making a difference off the court. Along with this player also made quite the difference on the court. This player would make the other team fear the pain, as he had multiple big blocks throughout the season, with a big showing in both those Cardigan and Brewster games. He made an impact in every scenario, including every single game he played. We are very happy to award Ben Cruza. And our last award. This season, our Coaches Award goes to a player who gave his all every single day on and off the court. He showed up each day with an enormous positive energy and enthusiasm for the game of basketball. This energy never changed, regardless of game minutes, the length of the bus ride, or even a tough loss. This player has been described as the glue that held our team together. We are delighted to award the Coaches Award to David Kaplan.
Okay, thank you for being such a good audience and
And staying with us, there are just two more groups that will present. Of course, I'm here as the coach of the girls JV basketball team with my assistants, whom I want to thank first. Dr. PK, or Coach PK, Lori Shepard, the mother of a former student of mine, Cam Shepard, former student here, and Mike Conway, father of Caitlin Conway. Thank you very much for your work. Also, our manager, Morgan Chen, a great manager, always there when we need you. So thank you for your work. We will miss you. See you in We see one set of parents. We had lots of parents at our games. We had a family meal as well, which was orchestrated by parents and all of that. Parents, thank you for sharing your, in this case, your daughters with us. We really appreciate it, and I enjoyed working with them. Thank you to the parents. Everybody else who's already been thanked, so I don't need to go through that. I'm going to do things a little differently. We're going to start with our awards. We have one award, brand new to this team. This is a group of girls, group of athletes who would, if given the choice, prefer not to mix it up in the paint. Right? They would just prefer not. They prefer to be outside the paint, either on offense, prefer to be outside the paint defense. But in order to win a basketball team, we got to get rebounds. Right? That's just essential. Because if you don't get defensive rebounds, that means your opponent does, and they get an easy putback. And if you get an offensive rebound, you don't have to be Steph Curry hoisting them from 35 feet. All you got to do is grab the rebound on the offensive boards and put it back. So we have a chair of the boards award. The toughest rebounder on our team, the chair of the boards award, goes to India Caldwell. Second award is our most improved. This player was not quite brand new to the sport this year, but she had taken a hiatus from the sport for a few years. And we struggled to find an offense that would get our shooters open, that would get our post players free. And so we actually experimented with a few different offenses. But when you do that, you can kind of organize yourself around, we've got guards and we have post players. And this player was right in the middle. Having just come back after a few years of hiatus from the game, it was a real challenge for her to learn both positions. And she did it. She did it with a smile on her face. She did it with questions. She asked questions. Okay, am I going in as a post player or as a guard? Where am I in this offense? And over the course of the 11 weeks of our season, this player grew in her skills, but mostly in her understanding of how the game is played from two very different positions. And so for that reason, the coaching staff will award Faith. We saw everybody saw. Yes, yeah. I saw your other nuts. You did. Anyway, back to this team. Let's see. I have 3 awards here. Three. I should let you know that we finished the season with a winning record. I think we had some struggles as a team, not just physical. Although we lost our most prolific scorer, with 2.5 weeks left in the season. And we were unsure how this was going to go. And that was with her knee injury. We were unsure about how this was going to finish up. Somehow, we finished up well. We ended up winning 3 of our last 4 games against teams that one of them was a varsity team at Vermont. And we ended up beating them. The very best game we played as a team prior to Zoe's injury was a game against Phillips Exeter. We went down and then came back, and then went down and then came back. And we ended up losing by a point. That was a really terrifically well-played game for this team. The next best game was with Zoe on the bench with her injury, and that was a home game against New Hampshire. That was just an amazing game, both defensively and especially offensively, where we hit 10 threes. 10 threes, and 7 of those belonged to Abby Gilbert, one of our captains, in one game. That was an amazing performance. I really do want to say something about our 3 captains. If I could expand these awards and turn them into a big bronze statue, I would do that. But I do want to let you know, I've worked with Caitlin and Jazz for 4 years, and I've worked with Abby for 3 years. And they taught me something about what it means to be a leader. You know that you know them. You know that these are 3 very different people. And their impact in a group is in 3 very different ways. But as leaders of this team, the one element that they do share is that they care. That really has taught me something about being a leader, even in the classroom. Like they, apart from their numbers, separate from their numbers, how well do they shoot? How many rebounds did they get? How many assists? How many turnovers? Forget those numbers. They actually really care about how we do as a team. They care about the team. That, I think, is the most profound. You heard Coach McClay say that at the start for his captains. His captains are effective because they care. Not just about their own team, not just about what happens after practice, or on the weekend after the game. They care about how the team is doing. These three have done that all season long. And as a result, they have mine and their teammates and our fellow coaches undying respect for their work as captains of this basketball team. So, Jazz and Caitlin and Abby. Thanks very much.
All right, save the best for last. Thanks for sticking around for us. We'll try to drag it out as long as we can. But a quick, just a debrief our season. We had a little bit of a rocky start, lost the first 3 or 4, but maybe they just need some time away from each other. So we came back after Christmas break and they all realized, playing together as a team is much more important than playing as an individual. And I think we won 3 or 4 in a row right after the break. That KUA game we won at home was a big one for us, and we kind of just rolled with it all the way through. The game at Cardigan, we did lose the game, but I think that was one of our best games probably this season. We really played a good 5-on-5 game. We gave it our all. Our penalty kill, rock solid all year. I know there's no stats and numbers on it, but I'd argue that we're probably the best in our league. And at the end of the year, we finished the game under 500. It was our goal to be at least 500 this year. Fell short of that last game in New Hampton, but I think we gave it our all. We had a really good group of kids. It's tough to put them all in a blender, come up with a team at the start of the year, November, and try to coach systems and stuff like that. It's my first year as a coach. Our first year together at the school, so it was a little bit of a learning curve, but I think we can be proud of the results and how we melded together as a team. So thank you guys.
Okay. Well, we had a couple of lessons we learned this year as coaches. Not a lot of water bottles up here, but we didn't need them. Not a lot of jackets in cold weather, but we didn't need them. Music was loud, rattled the ears right off your head. I learned that Logan Stroud does a great impression of me. We learned that Sebastian Below does a high-level, professional-grade starting lineup read. We learned that Lucas has the best goal of the season multiple times. Braga had the biggest hit of the season versus an 8th grader from Hillside. Keanu had the best hair on the team before the chop. And after the season, the thing these guys up here said they would miss the most was the boys.
We just want to express our gratitude with a couple of thank yous. I know most of the coaches have gone through, pretty much everybody. But first of all, like I said, the players putting up with us, especially myself as a new coach, there's obviously a couple fumbles along the way to practice, learning how to use a whistle, all that stuff. Our managers, Gabe, for the expertise in the video and setting up the pucks, he became a wizard with that stuff. Gavin for constantly filling our aforementioned 4 water bottles on the bench, and taking the guys' sticks along with his own for club hockey. That was great. All the parents for supporting us as coaches and as a team, giving us a chance to help develop our kids into people and hopefully better players. Especially the parents for helping with senior night. I think it was the Tramel's mom, Stroud's mom for helping everything out, most importantly, but everybody else along the way. Miss Bismenti for taking the pictures for senior night, and the last game we handed too and sending those to us. That was great. All boys want that good headshot for the Instagram, so that's an important piece. Brooks, thanks for helping everything this season. Thanks for bringing me along on this adventure. It's just giving me the opportunity to jump in with a fresh face. It's been an awesome ride, and I'm looking forward to continuing it. So, the rink staff, rink manager Phil, thank you for keeping the ice sheet clean, keeping all the lights turned on. Zamboni drivers, of course, and everything that goes along with getting the rink ready to go for practice with 3 teams. It's obviously difficult to manage a schedule. That leads me into Tara and Emily for the scheduling and everything. I know it's obviously busy for you guys. The winter season is crazy, and you guys seem to make it look like a pretty seamless operation. So thank you. Marvin and Lorenzo, I know he's not here. He was at a wedding or something like that. Monday wedding, I don't know. For getting the jerseys yellow ready, clean and ready to go. It's not easy with washer and dryer and a bunch of hockey jerseys and trying to make it all work. So appreciate all your hard work there. Scorekeepers, Catherine, Meredith, Nick the one time. Also Nick for being a great strength conditioning coach, getting these guys ready to go injury free for the most part, and just maintenance and the workouts, keep them on time. Go through all that stuff. Also being a great linesman out there with me. I know it's my first time. There's a few hiccups along the way, but you're pointing me in the right direction. We ended up losing the game. I had to call 3 penalties at one team. It was kind of weird, but we made it work. And then Kevin, who's not here, but the goalie coach, he made a big difference for us, helping our goalies. 4 goalies is hard to manage sometimes, and we just try to get every kid a chance, and that's what our team's all about. So, lastly, Ms. Saunders, thanks for again bringing me along and letting us kind of run wild with this thing. So it's been fun. So for all those mentioned before, thank you.
All right, before we get to some of these awards, we got a lot of 3-sport athletes up here, which I think is really cool about Tilton and about this team in particular. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Aiden Roy, Nico Lancetti, Turmel brothers, Isaac Carter, Tony, Tyler Roy, Lucas, Blake Fletcher, Aaron Brochu, Grisky, and Biz for playing 3 sports here at Tilton and representing your school really well when you're doing it.
The last mention is for our 3 seniors, Aiden Roy, Liam O'Neill, Logan Stroud, all accomplished young men, and look forward to seeing what's going on in the future with you guys. So thank you for your time here. All right, into the fun stuff, the awards. This guy is a no-brainer for me. 3-sport guy, like we just mentioned, but in terms of most improved, he would take on any task and just try to do it to his best of his ability. When you get out for practice, there's classic things that Daytona 500 I call it. You just go and you skate around, you shoot pucks, you skate around, and then you look over the corner and there's Isaac Carter just working on stuff, just silently going about his business, trying to get better. He just consistently improved, turned into one of our better defensemen this year, and had a couple MVPs in the game, scored a goal this year, which was huge for him. All the boys were fired up, and it was just good to see him improve and get better. He always came to rink with a smile on his face, never complained, but overall just an awesome human being and the standard when it comes to being a Tilton student. So Isaac Carter, most improved.
It's my pleasure to give out the Coaches Award. This is a player who was definitely our most consistent penalty killer, had some power play time, really good teammate, quiet leader, but leader by example, and just someone who, as coaches, we knew we could count on. And in hockey, that's such an important thing to have a consistent player that you can count on. So without any further delay, Aiden Roy.
Last but not least, MVP. This one could have gone a couple different ways, I think. But at the end of the day, the person, in the net is the one who's really, the backbone of your team, the anchor. And with having 4 of them, it's tough. But we made it work, and what was I going to say? I don't remember. But the most valuable player for the Tilton varsity B-boys ice hockey is Will Grisky. #1 scout, so we're gonna miss him. Yeah, we haven't had it. Thank you, everybody. Let's go eat.
Guys, before you leave, a quick reminder, if you did receive an award tonight, please stay after to have your picture taken. Hold on, y'all. Dessert tonight, as a reminder, is served in Skinner Tower. Go check out some super cool art that you'll hear soon, okay?